All right, it's game day. It's time to go ahead and get started about our new sports teams. I'm going to give you your predictions for today's game so you can see what's going on and have a good feel for the game. Starting off with Kinston High and Wallace Rose Hill. Wallace Rose Hill is 17-10, number 8 seed, traveling to Kinston to face the Vikings. Wallace is very battle tested. They faced around 9 good teams this year. I would say elite teams that I counted. However, they didn't win none of those games. But they've been in tough games. They've seen the tough teams. They're led by sophomore forward Madison Francis. She averaged around 11 points, 9 rebounds, 6 foot, 165 pounds. She can go. That's who they're going to go to. Then they go to Jackson and number 2 and number 21. I forgot one of those names. They're the 3-point shooters. They've made over 23 pointers each during the season. However, they're only shooting at a 20% range. So for my prediction, I got Kinston winning big, but here's why. Last week, Kinston ran through a similar team that ran through the post. The main guy, the main woman was in the post. That was their head of the snake. And Willow Gardner, Jerriani Edwards, who am I forgetting? America Lloyd. They took care of business. They went there, they shut her down. And I expect the same thing right here. Not being cocky, not trying to overlook nobody, but I expect Kinston to play elite defense. And my only worries with Kinston this year was putting the foot on the neck and taking care of business. And they showed me that last week with Whiteville where they dominated 60-12. So I think this is Kinston's year to make the run. I think they continue right here. I think they win big. I think Ariana Willis plays big and facilitating. I think Mason stays hot, and I think they run through Alyia Hill as always. This is going to be a great game to go watch and see your Vikings win. I got Kinston winning by 25. All right, in our next matchup in the girls' side, it's probably our biggest matchup of the day for the third round. Our biggest game we're going to be looking at today. Greene Central, number 5 seed, 16-8, travels to Northwood. Northwood is 19-5. They're number 4 seed, and this is going to be a good one. Northwood is battle tested. They've faced Southern Alamance, Western Alamance, Seaforth, Orange County, Nash Central, a lot of really good teams, and they've won some of those games as well. They're led by 5'3" Alyia Roberts, senior guard, averaged around 13 points per game. She can go. She's a shooter. She's made around 43 pointers a game. 43 pointers this season. But she's a great shooter. She's shooting around 33% range. She is very, very, very dangerous. They also have Shaylah Glover in the paint, averaged around 9 points, 7 rebounds. And I'm going to take a wild guess and says she has a sister on the team that's a senior as well. Number 20 and number 30, both named Glover. They both average around 7 rebounds. Looks like they have presence in the paint. Now, let's talk about Greene Central. This is where I get worried. Greene Central was a little sloppy last week with the turnovers, and that worries me. Right now, I'm going to take Northwood by 2 in overtime, but let me tell you why Greene Central can win. Greene Central can win if they take care of the ball and they dominate on defense. Defense, they have the guards to press. They have the guards to lock down and get a lot of steals with Janai Sutton, Azari Mumford. And then on that back row, that 2-3 zone, they got to play big-time ball. J.C. Russell, Nasia Wooten, Karma Schuster, I got it right this time. They got to play big. They got to be blocking shots. They have to stay out of foul trouble. They have to grab every rebound. Greene Central can win this one. Don't get it twisted. I want Greene Central to win. We're definitely pulling for them. But if Greene Central does not cut down on the turnovers, I see Northwood winning in overtime by 2. And our last game we're going to talk about is the boys' game at Kinston High at 7:30. Didn't tell you about the girls' game. They play at 6, and Greene Central plays, I think, at 3 o'clock. That's according to Max Preps. Not sure about the Greene Central, but I know for sure Kinston girls play at 6. Kinston boys play at 7:30. And let's go ahead and break down the matchup. West Bladen is coming in at number 7 seed. Their record's 20-6. They just defeated Greene Central at home in the playoffs. They won around, I forgot the score exactly, but it was about an 8 to 10 point win. Might have been a little bit higher, but it was a very close game throughout the game. Kinston is number 1 seed. Kinston is 18-3. And they come in off a win against Whiteville, very close win from last week. Whiteville is in the same conference as West Bladen. And that game was a trap game, in my opinion. I think Kinston got away with it. I think that was the game that Kinston was supposed to lose, but Genesis Wiggins put the team on his back, and he came through. I think it was a Thursday night game that was quote-unquote boring, where not a lot of people there and a lot of people didn't expect a good game, and Whiteville came out hot. Now let's talk about West Bladen. West Bladen has guys that can shoot it. They got 2'6" guards or forwards or whatever you want to call them that can light it up. Jackson Pate and Talik McCall, number 1 and number 4. They both average around 18 points per game. They're going to shoot it. They're going to lead the team in scoring. These guys have played Farmville twice this year. They lost both times. The first time was by 24. The second time was by 8. They played a lot of elite teams. However, only got 2 quality wins in my book, and that's Currituck County and Greene Central last week. So how does Kinston win in this? Kinston, they just come out and play ball. Last week they were up by 18, and they let the guys stay around, and they cannot do that this week. They have to get the lead, and they have to put their foot on the gas. Keyshawn Herron, Jamarion Washington was off last week, and a sign of a great team, they still won. Brendan Chambers played big. A lot of other role players played big, but Genesis Wiggins was huge. This week, I don't see all three. I don't see Washington and Herron having a bad game. They're going to turn it on. They're going to hit shots. They're going to get going. And I see Genesis Wiggins locking down on defense and taking away at least one of those guys. It's Saturday. It's going to be lit in the zoo, and I think that's going to be a big factor as well. I got Kinston winning by 8 to 10 points. I do think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a close game. I got Kinston taking this one.